how are you? Did you miss me? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is, I remember in primary school when you want to go for presentation, you know those things, they'll tell you, make sure you say my name. So my name is Mikbo Azeni, for those of you who do not know me, and if you do know me, thank you for being here. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, that process. Tell your friends to tell your friend that Mikbo is back on YouTube. Today we are going to be doing a Q&A. So I posted on my Instagram and my Twitter some weeks ago that I want to do a Q&A session, but this Q&A is not the regular Q&A that you will be asking me about myself, because there's nothing about me. I don't want people to know. You don't have to know. Mind your business. But yeah, so this is not like the regular Q&A where you guys are going to be asking questions about me and I'm going to be answering them. No, so today's Q&A session is going to be solely based off on Sickle. So I posted on my Instagram, on my Twitter, and my WhatsApp, basically all of my social media, that if you have any questions regarding Sickle that you want to know about, send them to me, respond, DMs, whatever. And I had a couple of questions. So yeah, today that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be responding to those questions best of my knowledge, best of my ability. I'm not a doctor, so please don't go and quote me somewhere and say make what said, because I'm not a doctor and I can't obviously tell you like this is what it is, this is not what. I'm just going to tell you based off my experience. So yeah, stay tuned, watch this video, and let's get right into it. The first question is, what triggers the crisis, and do you know how many times you can have a crisis? Okay, so what triggers crisis? It just varies basically. Like everybody's body is different, right? Everybody's body is different. So what would trigger a crisis for me is definitely not what's going to trigger a crisis for another person, right? But major triggers, things that like I feel like almost anybody that has a episode like these things are your triggers: stress, adverse weather conditions, like changing adverse weather conditions. So colds, like really cold temperatures, really hot temperatures, stress, malaria, stuff like that. So yeah, what else? Dehydration, like not drinking enough water, stuff like that could cause a crisis. Do I know how many times you can have a crisis? It doesn't. There's not like a specific number of time that you are going to have a crisis specifically. Like, oh, your crisis starts from what's it called, like you're going to have a crisis 5 times in this year or 5 times in a month. No, it just happens randomly. You could go almost like 6 months and not have a crisis, and it could be back to back, like every month you're having a crisis. So really it just depends on your body, how well you know your body, how well you understand your body, and what you're doing for it, how you can maneuver it. And yeah, that's that. Secondly, second question is, what triggers your crisis? Well, I personally, I haven't necessarily know my triggers somehow, right? But things like stress, like I said before, stress, adverse weather conditions. So when the weather is really, really cold, so that's why my friends know that when it's raining and it's cold, stuff like that. My friends, my family, they know. They'll be like, make a cover up, go and wear your clothes, stuff like that. Because it's cold. The cold gets into your body system, it fucks up with your bones and your blood and all of that. So it causes a crisis. Too much heat too. Sometimes working under the sun continually, for me, triggers a crisis. Stress, when I'm stressed a lot, like when I have gone through so much stress, so much pressure, like recently I just broke down, I had a crisis, but I'm back now, thankfully, by God's grace. And why? Because stress, back to back, going to work, all of that. So when you have so many things on you, you're stressed, you're tired, you're not resting well, you're not drinking enough water, all of that could trigger a crisis. Okay, so the next question is, when you are in a lot of pain, how long do you stay in the hospital before they can discharge you? I don't know, it just depends. I mean, at the end of the day, you're in a lot of pain, so if they feel if the doctors feel alright, your body is not okay, you're not fine yet, obviously they're not going to discharge you, they will leave you in the hospital, you're gonna be there. And even if you don't want to be there, in situations whereby you don't want to be in the hospital, you are tired, you are frustrated, it's tiring, because it's actually annoying and tiring sitting down in the hospital Sometimes you actually feel better, but your body system isn't like good enough, like it's not 100, right? So they can't obviously discharge you because they're the doctors, they're the professionals, they know what they're doing. So if they think that you are not fit enough to leave the hospital, then you're going to be in the hospital. So they don't, like, there isn't a time frame of how long you can be in the hospital for. Just 2 days, you can be in the hospital for 2 weeks, you can be in the hospital for months, whatever the case may be. It's just how it is. What medical problems are caused by sickle cell disease? So sickle cell disease is a genetic disorder whereby your so sickle cell is a genetic disorder whereby your blood cells are sickle instead of circle, right? I will set that a video of that. So normal red blood cells are circular in shape, circle, right? And sickle cell basically then in shape of a crescent. And your blood veins or I really don't know what the medicine of it is, what like the names are called, right? But that thing, it doesn't let your cells like pass through it, so they get clogged up there, and that's basically what sickle cell is. So what is caused by it is when two people that have the S genes, so they are genotypes AA, AS, and SS, right? Two people that have the S genes, so that's AS and AS, they come together to have a child. It's very possible that they could pass the S trait down to the child, and the child ends up becoming sickle cell. Get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. Don't forget about it. If you don't get it, I don't know, ask a question, comment down below or something, and I will help you to the best of my knowledge. Or you could just check Google. Google is your friend. Next question is, I know it feels lame being a sickler, right? Oh my god, that's crazy. So yes, it is actually, honestly, I'm not going to lie about it. It feels lame, it feels crazy, it feels like your life is upside down. Cause there are times that you have planned things, you have like strategically aligned yourself, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I have this plan for this and that. And success is like, knock knock, who's there? It's playing knock knock with you, and boom, like you didn't plan for it, obviously. So that's lame, that's crazy, because like it just scatters your routine, scatters your life, scatters everything that you have had plans, like what you've thought like you were going to do, what's going to happen, all of those things just scattered everything. So yeah, it's crazy, it's lame. I don't know, whatever the case may be, for everybody, anybody that has it understands what it is and understands the struggle that they face. So obviously it's crazy, and whatever the case may be for them, does your PVC get low when you have a crisis? If yes, how often do you get blood transfusion? So does my PVC get low? Yes, it does. Usually, thankfully, I haven't gotten a blood transfusion. I have never had a blood transfusion, but I know someone that has. I know people that have, and they say it's crazy. It's a crazy experience, because there are times that like they flush out all of the blood in your system, and then like they pass new blood into you. That's called an EBT. I don't know what the full name is. EBT. Yeah, that happens. But does my PVC go low? Yes, it drops. I feel like the highest my PCV has ever been, it was like, I don't know, 30, or I don't think it has gone to 30. It's like 24, 20 something. Usually when it's like that, my doctors are like, oh great, that's good, right? But when it's like it drops and it's like 18, 19, I think from like that 22 to 25, 30 usually is good. But when it's like lower, like 20, 21, 19, 18, 15, 11, stuff like that, it's crazy, right? I really don't know the numbers of all these things. I just know that excuse me, I just know that the time my PVC has dropped, and usually they just give me like blood tonic. I've never had to have a blood transfusion, thankfully, to God be the glory. Another question is, do you take tramadol and pentatozine injection? If no, what relieves you when you have a crisis? This auntie, are you a doctor? Are you here to test me? Are you testing me? Don't try me. Okay. Do I take tramadol and pentatozine? No, actually I do take pentatozine. I have never taken tramadol. I have taken tramadol when I was way younger, but I don't know, I think like my body got used to it, so it stopped working for me or something like that, because I don't take it anymore now. But yes, I do take pentatozine injection. And what works for me when I have a crisis? Pentatozine, IV injections, basically all these high injections, pentatozine or morphine, fentanyl, diclofenac, paracetamol. I know it sounds just paracetamol, but paracetamol injection is actually quite strong, right? So those are the drugs I take. Then on a normal regular basis, like if I'm not in the hospital, maybe like my crisis just started, that kind of thing, ibuprofen, cocodamol, or phenadrine, basically just high like pain meds that are going to shock your system and you're half of the time unconscious. Yeah. Do you really think leg ulcer is common with sicklers? I don't know. Like I said before, I'm not a doctor. I'm explaining these things. I'm answering these questions to the best of my knowledge and based off my experience. I have heard about leg ulcers in sickle cell. I have never had it. Obviously, I do not have it. I don't know anybody that has it or that has had it, but I've heard about it and how like terrible they could be and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know how common they are because I really don't know anybody that has it. So the question says, if yes, how often do you take them and how often do you have a crisis and visit the hospital? I believe that's the question, right? So I think the follow-up question, the question before it is something about like with my meds. I believe like, do I take tramadol and all of that when I have a crisis, right? Which I answered. And then I think in the next question, like following up to that, it now says, if yes, how often do you take them? So if yes, I take those meds, how often do I take them? And how often do you have a crisis and visit the hospital? How often do I take those meds? Those meds are regulated meds. I don't take them myself, obviously. I don't have them. I mean, do I have them in my house? Probably. Do I take them? No. I can't take them without a doctor's prescription. You can't even walk into a pharmacy and buy these meds without a doctor's prescription, because that's what they are. They are really high, like strong meds and all of that. And so no normal pharmacist, at least any pharmacist that wants to keep their job sharp, would not just hand you a pentatozine injection or what's it called, or a cocodamol tablet, or a fentanyl or a morphine IV injection, over the counter. You need to have a doctor's prescription before you can get my meds. So no, I don't just take them. How often do I take them? Usually in the hospital. It is time, like I said, they're regulated. So the nurses, the doctors, they have like timing. I think like 4 hours or 6 hours, depending. They just try to like manage the drugs alongside with your pain, so that even when you are in a lot of pain, right, you always have meds like maybe every 2 hours or I don't know how they do it, but at least like the meds basically they're regulated. They are meds that are regulated, and so personally I don't know like specifics. I mean, I know them, but I don't know like specifics, because even when they give me these drugs, I'm not fully conscious. 1, 2, I'm not thinking of, oh, you gave me this drug by 10 o'clock, so the next time you're going to give me is 7 o'clock. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I know that time sounds crazy, but do you get what I'm saying, right? Because I'm not even thinking of the timing. I'm not measuring the timing. I'm just in a lot of pain and I just need my meds. Like, I just want to feel better. Basically, that's like how often I take the meds. I take them when I have a crisis based off a doctor's prescription and timing, and all of that. They're regulated. So basically, the doctors and the nurses, they do that shit. How often do you have a crisis and visit the hospital? I don't have like a crisis like arranged like every week you're having a crisis, every month you're having a crisis. But if it's like something that on the average, sometimes every month, sometimes every 2-3 months, that kind of thing. Anytime I have a crisis, I visit the hospital. So yeah, that's how often I visit the hospital. Whenever I have a crisis, whenever I have a crisis, I visit the hospital. Simple and short. But if I'm not going to the hospital for like, because I'm sick, maybe I'm just going for like a random regular checkup or something like that, yeah, that's like the reason why I'm visiting the hospital. I don't just be around going to the hospital. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so another question says, how are you? How is it been with all of this that's going on? How am I? I'm fine, darling. I'm living my best life. How am I actually? I am fine. I mean, at the moment now, health-wise, I am fine, thankfully. How has it been? It's been a lot, dealing with sickle cell, living with it. How old? I'm not telling you guys my age. People that know my age. I'm not displaying my age on the internet. No. But anyways, how has it been with like being sick, having sickle cell, living with it? it has been a lot. I have to, maneuver myself, just have like my feelings in check sometimes, because it's crazy. Like, I'm literally the happiest person this minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bah, and I'm down. Why? Because I just have like a crisis, that kind of thing. So it's crazy. It's annoying, because like there are times you just want to like do things and stuff like that, and there's like people telling you, oh, don't do that, oh, it's okay, sit down, oh, relax now, oh, stuff like that, and it's really crazy, and it just makes you like question yourself and question your being and everything. Like, what is it? Like, am I the only person? Like, leave me alone. Like, you actually want to like just do normal things like every normal person, but because of your health and everything, and I feel like everybody just wants a lot of people usually, everybody just wants you to be okay, because it's not a pleasant sight to see somebody that you love sick and in so much pain, and you literally can't help them or do anything about it. So yeah, it's literally crazy, and it just fucks with your mental health, it fucks with your general well-being, all of that. But I promise you, as I am now, I'm fine, and everybody that has it that I know of, we're working on just dealing with our mental health, accepting what life is, what it is now, because you really can't do much about it. You can't beat yourself up about it, because it is what it is. You just have to accept it. Okay, so thank you very much for asking how I am. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that question. The next question is, do I ever get down about it? Yes, so many times. I personally do get down about it, because like there are times I hate myself and I'm just like, it's here again. You get that kind of thing. Like, it's annoying, especially when like you've had plans and you like, you wanted to do specific things, like maybe you were at a really high time in your life and you felt sick all of a sudden, so she went down during you fucks with your mental health. For me, like now, around December, in fact, not around December, in December last year, 31st of December 2022, excuse me, I had a crisis, right? It was New Year's Eve. No, sorry, 29th going to 31st. So that night, like in between like 11 p.m., 12 o'clock, that kind of thing, to 31st of December 2022. It was New Year's Eve. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, it was New Year's Eve, right? And I was, really happy, because I planned on starting my YouTube that 31st. Like, my plan was, oh, come with me, I'm going to do a vlog on what's it called, what my New Year's Eve looks like, right, and all of that. And it just automatically, in the middle of the night, I just felt sick, and it was crazy. Like, the whole house was upside down, because everybody was like, are you okay, how are you feeling, like how can we help? And it was in the middle of the night, so like I couldn't even just jackpot that kind of thing, because it was really crazy, because in the middle of the night it can be really risky, like driving in the middle of the night around like 2 a.m 3 a.m, and the hospital is quite far. So we just had to like just manage till it was like 6 a.m, and then when it was 6, we left for the hospital. But yeah, at that point in time, I said that story because I was actually like really excited. Like, I was not even hours, like minutes before, and all of a sudden like a crisis just came in from nowhere, and I felt really bad. I hated myself. I felt like I was ruining everybody's day, because it was the ending of the year. Like, people were going for crossover or parties, whatever the case may be. But I couldn't, myself and my family, we had to, like, everybody had to put on hold what it is that they had planned for the day, and we're in the hospital. So yeah, obviously I did get down about it. It makes me want to like hit myself and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, sometimes I'm just like, it is what it is, and I'm not like fighting anybody about it. I've got to a point in time in my life whereby I tend to accept it. It's not that easy. There are times that I actually do really feel down about it, and there are times that I'm just like, not for Jerry, God did for you, like you're fine, you get that kind of thing. So yeah. Do I really blame anybody? Hey, do I blame anybody? As I am now, right, being older and understanding the dynamics of it and everything, do I blame anybody? Not necessarily. Did I used to blame people? Yes, I used to blame people at a point in time, and I used to think like maybe in this situation was a what's it called, was because of people's fuck ups and stuff like that, and I actually did hate like specific people for some time, especially during the times when I was sick. But now I'm older, I've had conversations about it with various people, with these people in question, and I understand like everything that is going on now. I'm older, I've gotten to a point in my life where I have accepted it, so I'm not like staying to be crying or be feeling sad about it anymore. There are times, like I said, I do feel down or feel bad about it, but I have accepted it to be what it is, and I just tend to live my life alongside it. So it's just a comma. Like I usually tell people that it's just like a comma that is with me, but it's not necessarily what my life is. Like I own my life, I can dictate what my life is going to be like and stuff like that, right? I don't own my life, Jesus owns my life, but I think you get like the concept of what I'm trying to say. Like it's me. So at the end of the day, sickle cell is not me. It's just one of these things. But me in general, I'm not going to sit down and like just sulk and hate myself because I have sickle cell. It is a terrible experience. It is very, very bad. But yeah, whatever. Okay. How has it made you feel generally? Generally, it has made me feel different type of ways: sad, angry, confused, jealous. I say jealous because I look at other people sometimes and I'm just like, why is that not me? Like, why am I, having to deal with this and suffering like this? But yeah, what else again? I don't know, different feelings, Sha. Has it made me feel generally? In general, somehow it has made me hate myself and hate people around me and everything. But like I said, I've gotten accustomed to it. I've gotten used to it. I remember when I was younger, my dad usually used to give me like books of like people that have sickle cell, and like they write in their book how they maneuvered it, and they're like 50 years old or they're 80 years old, stuff like that. Or sometimes testimonies of people that God actually did heal from sickle cell, or somebody that had like a bone marrow transplant, and what their life is now after sickle cell, stuff like that. And I honestly used to hate it. I used to, like, at one time I gathered up all the energy and courage and strength in me, and I was like, sir, please don't give me these books again, because it just makes me hate myself, I hate my life and everything. So yeah, generally it has made me feel like different type of ways: crazy ways, sad ways, depressed, all of that. But have I fucked it up? I'm like, fuck you, bitch, fuck you. But yeah, I have just whatever going day, and this is me today. So yeah, that's that. At the end of the day, I'm fine. I believe like everybody is going to be fine, and yeah, I am fine too. Okay, so another question is, do you belong to any awareness group associated with this health condition? Do I belong to any awareness group? No, because I don't know. I just don't like the having to sit down and just be announcing somehow. I don't know. I just generally never really like people used to tell me that, oh, go to all this, like, the way they have AA meetings for alcoholics and NA meetings for people that like basically people that have addictions, alcoholics, drug addicts, sex addicts, stuff like that. Where they have AA meetings, right? Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, those shit. So they have stuff like that for sickle cell, but I never attended any. Like sickle cell foundation in Nigeria used to hold like stuff like that, but I didn't care. I couldn't care less, because I honestly hated it. I'm just like, it just made me want to sulk about like how sad my life was and how sad my life is living with sickle cell and all of that. So I hated all those associations. Sometimes I'll even go to hospitals and like the nurse like maybe randomly came for a checkup, that kind of thing. And the nurse will see me and she'll be like, oh hi, can I speak to you? And I'm like, yes. And they'll ask me, do you have sickle cell? Basically, because usually they say, are you a warrior? Because that's what we is, yeah. And they'll be like, do you have sickle cell? And I'll be like, yes. And they'll be like, they'll talk to me, and I'm just like, girl, I didn't ask you for any of this, like, rest, mind your business, sis. But nah, I never said anything of that to them, because most of the nurses themselves, they were even old people, like people that could be old enough to be my moms, my grandmas. So I was always obviously having to be respectful, and I never said anything to them, right? I used to mind my business. Well, they were not minding their business because they were in my business. But whatever, they will now be asking me, oh, I know this group, you should join. And then they'll give me their number, they'll give me the flyer, Like they give me their personal number, they give me like I never used to text them because I'm like I don't have anything to say to you. I'm sorry. What do you want me to text you? Text you and say good afternoon, man. You spoke to me in the hospital today. Okay, yes, and so no, I don't know. It probably makes me sound somehow, but I never attended it. I didn't like all these association things, all these clinical. I didn't like it. It's crazy because I felt like it was even monotonous. It was repetitive. It was the same thing. They would just be telling you you have sickle cell. You are. I feel like it was just very sad and depressing, and they just always wanted to like shook it in your head like you have sickle cell, you have sickle cell. Because I have actually been to a couple, but I was younger. I wasn't up to 15 sharp, so but like they just used to have sickle cell. This is what sickle cell. Like it was just like a monotonous thing. It was always very depressing, and I'm just like. She even got to me one by is this the kind of thing I'm like she even got ever keep my Siri like nah it's not me the map like me say like joke from go by to you don't cause my mama being mean like I would literally just be angry being there and everything. So I never attended any of those association meetings. I'm not in any one of them, but hopefully by God's grace I plan on doing something similar to that, having a the way I do this now, educating forms, stuff like that. I want to do that, but it's not going to be boring. It's going to be like a fun thing, like in what's it called, interactive. Because usually it's actually very boring. People just sit down, talk. Like there's always one mommy or one auntie, nurse, doctor, probably even somebody that has sickle cell that is old and they come on my sorrow for fating. Like the thing was really annoying. It was usually really annoying and frustrating for me, but yeah, so. I never. But yes, I don't like it because I just feel like it's monotonous. It makes you want to hate yourself and sad. I don't. Maybe if you know anyone that is new and is not boring, it's not sad and depressing, you can invite me for it. Comment it down below, and I will definitely show up if I can. Because personally, I don't like those things. I think they are very annoying, and yeah. Another question, I think this is the last and final question, right? For the times I witnessed you were in and out of the hospital, has the frequency of your visitation decreased? If yes, what contributed to that? I don't know, God, Jesus Christ did, because but I feel like the person that asked this question knows me like from school, has seen me in school, because that's the only reason why the person will know the frequency of times that I know the amount of times that I'm usually like going to the hospital. But has the frequency decreased? I don't know. I really like I said, I don't used to sit down and be analyzing all these things. I just used to live my life the way I know how to live it and just thank God for where I am, because it is crazy. But has the frequency of my visitation decreased? I can't necessarily say yes or no. But do I like feel better health wise? Sort of. Take my meds, drink water, try to rest, stuff like that. And if so, the question says if yes, what has contributed to that? What has contributed to that is me relaxing, drinking water. Don't give me a headache. If you give me a headache, I'll give you a headache. So things like that, I just try to avoid stress, my triggers, and I try to take my meds. Even though I don't take them sometimes. I hope my daddy or my mom doesn't watch this. But it's just that try to like avoid your triggers and all of that. So yeah, I think those are all of the questions. Thank you to everybody that actually did ask a question. In general, in conclusion, I hope I'll be able to convince you and not confuse you. But basically, in conclusion, right? I don't know if I have a conclusion, please don't mind me. But generally, it's just a lot living with it and dealing with it. But at the end of the day, you just have to, because if you actually sit down and like you are depressed or worrying yourself like you actually not enjoy life and what life is, and the things that are in this life, apart from like the fact that you do have sickle cell. Yes, like there is sickle cell and there's like the sad aspects of it, the terrible aspects, the being in crisis, all of that. But there is more to like your life than just being like having sickle cell. So in conclusion, just bad one, yeah, chop life, make life not chop you. My sister usually says that I'm the type of person that I don't used to give myself a headache. Any small thing, I would say please chop life, make life not chop, because actually you have to just live your life to the best of your knowledge and the best of your ability, and pray to God, ask Jesus to always help you and stuff like that. Not for you'll be fine, Jare. But yeah, that is it. So yeah. Okay, anyways, I think that is all. if you have any more questions, comment down below and I will definitely respond to your questions. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. If you like this video, if you like my face, because my face is fine, so if you like my face and you want to see me again, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? Subscribe. The button does not use to bite people. Cooking game your J. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friend to tell your friend. Thank you guys for watching this video very, very much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.